Over the past couple years, I've been slowly transforming my Mustang by upgrading its performance and appearance. I started with basic Mustang mods like a cold air intake and lowering springs, but eventually moved on to bigger upgrades like headers, camshafts, and some custom bodywork on the rear end, which I think turned out really well. But during this time, I've left the front end completely untouched. The face of my Mustang looks exactly as it did when it rolled off the assembly line way back in September of 2006. And some of you have pointed this out by encouraging me to install a new bumper, a chin spoiler, a grille, or even a different hood to help balance out the car. And I gotta say guys, I agree with those comments. It is looking pretty boring up here. So in this episode, we're gonna be giving the Mustang a little makeover. And we're gonna do that by installing Raxium's DRL projector headlights. Those are the ones with the S550 vibe going on. And we're going to pair those with Raxium's smoked halo fog lights. Those are the fog lights with the bluish rings around them. Maybe that looks a little bit played out, but I don't care. I just like how they look. We also have Axial's smoked turn signals because the only color my car has comes from these amber turn signals, so they gotta go. And then we have a new grille from Grillcraft that I'm excited about because I haven't seen this particular grille on any other Mustang on social media. So definitely interested in seeing how that turns out. And then finally, we'll finish up with a brand new bumper. Okay, we'll start things off easy by popping the hood and removing the fasteners from the radiator cover. Then we'll remove two 10mm bolts that help secure the top part of the bumper cover to the car. Next, we'll remove the 3 screws in the front wheel wells on each side of the car that attach the splash guard to the bumper cover. Once the splash guard has been separated, we can remove the two 10mm bolts holding the bumper cover to the car. After that, we detach the parking lights and blinkers by rotating them 90 degrees and pulling. There's another splash guard under the engine that attaches to the bottom of the bumper cover via 4 7/32 screws. Once those are removed, we can disconnect the fog lights and finally remove the bumper cover. Now that the bumper's off, we'll take out the headlights by removing 3 10mm bolts and a fastener from each one. So the new headlights have an extra set of wires that allow you to illuminate the 3 bars next to the projector lens, but these won't match the color of the halos, and since these mods are already feeling a bit ricey, I'm not going to wire them up. Once the new headlights are installed, we'll darken them with some light smoked vinyl. This is the same stuff I used on the brake lights last year, which has held up really well. We cut out a piece of vinyl that's quite a bit larger than the headlight to ensure we don't get fingerprints on any part of the vinyl that's actually applied. We lightly stretch and apply the vinyl over the headlight until there are no creases or bubbles. And once it looks evenly applied, we remove any excess with a carpenter knife. Here we can see how the new headlights look with and without vinyl. And while the car's got this whole District 9 thing going on right now, I definitely prefer the subdued look of the smoked headlight. After we repeat the process on the other side, it's time to move on to the grille. So the instructions for the grille look pretty easy. Just cut out the center part of the grille and screw in the new grille pieces. But I got a feeling this looks a lot easier than it is. To remove the grille from the bumper cover, all we have to do is release each of the 8 clips holding it in place. Now we can start cutting out the center section of the grille, but my hacksaw is too big to start with, so I found these old rusty clippers and got to work. The stock grille is pretty tough, and cutting it this way isn't easy. If you decide to do this, I recommend using a reciprocating saw and having a buddy to hold the grille in place. Eventually I was able to remove enough of the grille to use the hacksaw and got to work cutting out the pony emblem. And as you might imagine, this feels all kinds of wrong, like I'm just destroying my grille. But we're past the point of no return, so I continue to saw until the center section of the grille can be removed. The result's pretty crude, and at this point I'm just hoping that the rough parts of the grille won't be visible once this is all said and done. Now it's time to attach the new grille pieces, but since there aren't any holes for our aftermarket grille to screw into, we have to make our own. So I used this Arya Stark style screwdriver to puncture 8 holes that align with the tabs on the grille pieces. This was a bit of a challenge, but after some trial and error, it's finally time to attach the new grille. Now that that punishing task is complete, we can swap out the fog lights and take the Mustang to the body shop. Here's how the car looked right after I picked it up from the body shop. The paint and fitment of the new bumper looks great, but the new grille has too much Edward Cullen sheen going on. It's just way too shiny and glossy and feels out of place to me. I also don't like how visible all the aluminum is from the bug-splattered AC condenser. So I found a local powder coating shop and had the grille stripped and recoated with the darkest matte black option they had available. And while that was being done, I thoroughly cleaned and painted the AC condenser and part of the body with some Rust-Oleum matte black automotive spray paint just to ensure any elements behind the grille are nice and blacked out. And this is how it all turned out. So as I sit here editing the outro, I'm realizing I'm still not satisfied with how the car looks. I think it's headed in the right direction as it definitely looks cooler than it did before, but I don't like that you can sometimes make out the old grille behind the new grille. I don't like that there's a couple of gaps at the top of the halos, and the California Special bumper does sit a little bit higher than I thought it was going to. So I went ahead and ordered a few more parts that I think are really going to dial in the look of the car, and I'm going to see if I can address that grille situation a bit. Anyway, I still want to hear from you guys, and I hope a few of you come back for the sequel. Peace!